Namaste and welcome. This is Shantal from She Achieves Studio. I tried to make this black and white, but it didn't work. So there's lots of color this morning. Welcome to the Sunday Instagram card pull. And you know what happened? The candle went out. We must light the candle. So I already called in Sacred Space. Good morning. Thank you for joining, everybody who is joining live or who is watching the replay. We have some smudge going. We have incense going, called in Sacred Space, got a candle going. Here's our beautiful cauldron of information, divine guidance. This is it. Look at it. Isn't that yummy? This is my kind of bowl of soup. This is the bowl of soup I like. Welcome, everyone. All right, so lots going on. Planetary alignment is continuing. We're coming up to a new moon. Yeah, because we just finished the full moon. And spring is starting to get a little aroused, let's say, with this warmer weather. We are located in Fort McMurray, Alberta, for those of you who are watching out of Fort McMurray. We are going to start with the tarot deck. Oh, so we're going to skip this tarot deck. Hang on. The portent, there we go. I don't know why that messed up there. That's all right. So this is the portent tarot deck. Okay, what are we looking for today? Let's hang out for a moment. Let's warm up these cards a little bit. They've been primed under the full moon, the recent full moon, and the half moon. So the moon is beginning to empty. She's beginning to pour out. So, okay. Have you ever noticed when you have created space in your life, in yourself, in your world, for whatever reason, closing whatever doors, physical, emotional, energetic, mental, or spiritual, okay, that there's this space. You've created space by closing a door or multiple doors. So what do we do with that space? Do we fill it up right away? Are we closing these doors? Are we creating space so we can let a new door or an unopened door be opened? Or do we fill that space right away? So as the moon is emptying, planets are still aligning. What is the message for us with this space? What do we do with the space? What is in our highest guidance while we stand in this space? We stand with this closed door behind us, and maybe we're at a crossroads. We don't know. Maybe there's other doors wanting to be opened. So what is our guidance for the door that's behind us, that has been closed and that is also offering us space to just be in? What do we do with that space of the closed doors? There we go. We got it. So remember, the soul and life travel at different speeds. Okay? And because the soul travels at a different speed than the human body, there can be some incongruencies. And when you're connecting with the divine guidance, it's not linear, okay? So I can't say the only, but one of the, for example, the most linear spiritual tool and medicine that I've used is tarot and runes and pendulum. Pendulum, I use the pendulum as a yes or no, for yes or no questions, but tarot, we don't really do that because we want a broader answer from the universe. So that's why we often ask the universe questions beginning with what, instead of like, what do I need to know? What do we need to know about this space that we're creating from closing a door versus, is this the right door to close, yes or no? Okay. So universe, Portent Tarot. There we go. Ooh, ready? Oh, look at that. Look at that. I think in this tarot deck, this is actually, is this the Two of Cups? I don't think so. I'm getting to know this tarot deck. Yeah, it's a major arcana. Oh my gosh. 2 chalices. Are you ready? Temperance. Temperance. When we talk about temperance, think of a fireplace and the glass, or a windshield and the glass of the windshield. That's tempered glass. So it'll kind of shatter, but it'll still stay in pieces. Being tempered, the wind tempers the trees, so the trees can stay solid and still be able to move. Okay, so the cups, the chalices, alchemy, equanimity, patience, purpose, self-control. Exactly. Just because we have space, do we need to fill it? This is awesome. What is necessary right now in that space, and what is unnecessary? You can ask yourself that. Whatever space, whether you've already closed the door to create space, or you're toggling back and forth. Should I close this door? You know, wherever you are in that journey, if you've recently created space, then ask yourself, where do I have patience? Where do I have equanimity? Which means finding peace in times of stress. So maybe this space is actually testing you. Oh, I've been tested by the universe the last 10 days twice. Really, really big. And I passed. Yay. I get a gold star right on my forehead. So ask yourself, what do I need? Do I need action, or do I need non-action right now? Maybe I just have to sit in this open space and get used to the vibration, get used to the feeling of it. Instead of, I've got open space, boom, I'm going to go jam it all up. Okay? So with temperance and the 2 chalices, we've created this space, again, physically, emotionally, energetically, mentally, spiritually, whatever layer that shows up for you. However you've created the space, closing a door, closing a relationship, changing a habit, cleaning up energetically, okay? And creating space can also mean elimination. When we physically eliminate, when we go to the bathroom, pee and poo, blow our nose, spit, burp, we're creating space on all levels. Okay, so it doesn't even have to be a door that's closed to help you create space. It could just be an elimination. Okay, so what are we going to do with that space? So right off the bat, the cards are asking us to find calm in stress, to be patient. I like this. Purpose, to have intention, and self-control, which is restraint. So when we have an intent or an intention, okay, we also want to look at what action. Do we have an action to equal that intent? Or maybe we need non-action. Maybe we need to sit in this new space, and it's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable in something new, right? We live in this world where we do our best to be as comfortable as we possibly can. And I'm wondering if we've lost the art of being comfortable and uncomfortable. Now, The only thing about that is we want to be careful when uncomfortable becomes the new norm. I lived like that a lot of my earlier life, living a toxic life and being comfortable living in an uncomfortable situation or situations. Yeah, not cool. Okay. But you got to figure that out on your own. So now we're going to ask the shaman deck. So what's our vehicle? No. So now that we have this space, we're securing it with self-control. We're sitting in it. What intention is, what can be a resource for us to fully explore this space? Yeah, I love it. What resource from the shamans can guide us into exploring this space with equanimity, with self-control, with purpose? Beautiful. Ooh, the Indian cross. There we go. There. I think I'm cutting out. I'm not sure why, but that's all right. Okay, so the Indian cross. Let's see what the shamans. We don't know if we should stay or should we go. And this message from the shamans is going to help us see the whole in the space, so we can have self-control, so we can have purpose and a proper holistic intent. So we're not running around like a chicken with his head cut off, okay? All right, so the Andean cross represents a cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, okay? The upper and lower worlds. So when we go into shamanic journeying, we either go in a lower world or upper world. And for the most part, we stay out of the ordinary, mundane, ordinary reality, which is this reality when we go into shamanic journeys, because there's a lot of floating energies out there that we just want to stay away from. So that's more of an advanced shamanic journeying, going into this reality. So usually we go into the lower, primal, instinctual world, or we go into the upper world, almost like the Akashic records. Okay. So the hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel. The proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom, and to break free of the linear time, right? We talked about this already. This is not a linear approach. We're here beyond yes or no. We're looking at the whole picture. And we talk about integrity, sovereignty, truth, healing, holistic. That means we have to include all parts. And that means we are invited to include all parts of ourselves, even the parts that we might be denying ourselves. Okay? And remember, just because we think it doesn't mean that it's true. However, we want to be able to step into the truth. The truth, 1 + 1 is 2, no matter how you look at it. You can't fool yourself. Whether you go, whatever you do, that is truth. That is absolute. So when you are in a grounded space and you're feeling strong, then maybe that's a great invitation to set the stage to find out what the truth is. What truth are you hiding from yourself? Right? And sometimes the universe shows us what we're not ready to see. So maybe we can take a look at it and see, what are we missing from our truth? Okay? So the invitation, it announces the start to a great journey, right? Remember, we're here at the cross. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? We're here at the cross because the 2 chalices are saying to us we need a purpose and an intention in this space that we're standing in. We don't know whether we should go up, down, north, south, east, west. We don't know. So the Anjan cross is reminding us it's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. So coming out of that eye of the storm, What direction do we need to go to come out of that eye of the storm, so we can see everything as a teaching, as a lesson, not as our identity, not as who we are. Okay? Everything in life are experiences for us to learn from. And even our families, you know, if you have children, if you have pets, all of those are stepping stones in our journey as we are stepping stones in their journeys. So to take on somebody else's journey, well, universally, you let me know how that works out for you. I've done it, and it didn't work out too well. So learn how to step back and be in your own space. Observe and support and be there. But everyone's got their own journey. And it's when we start taking on other people's experiences, when we start to have the experience before it happens, we can come into a bit of a fuddy-duddy mess. Okay? So allow the new wisdom to guide you, and stop trying to make sense of it before you respond with a resounding yes. There's a difference between awareness and understanding. Just because we're aware of something doesn't mean we have to understand it right away. Doesn't mean we ignore it, but it means that maybe we have to sit in that awareness before we understand what we need to do with that awareness. Who's jiving with this? Does that make sense? Is this resonating with anyone? Let me know. This is awesome. So, I know the the murder of crows is coming up. But we'll do the murder of crows because they're just like yelling at me. Holy mama. And then we'll go into the medicine, the animal cards. Okay, are you with me so far? So we have established we are, because of the moon cycle and the planets aligned, the moon is emptying, it's creating space. We're holding that space with intent and purpose, along with all of the aggressively barking dogs, which I'm just letting you know, behind the scenes, I'm working very hard to focus on this with those aggressive dogs barking. Okay, bring it back to center. Bring it back to center. I am safe right now. I am safe. Okay, so we're in that space. The shamans are reminding us to look in all four directions, start to gather data, slow down and gather data. When we move too fast, we might miss the waterfall. We might miss the eagle in the sky. When we move too fast, we may miss the lesson that we need to learn in this moment to bring us the wisdom to move us into the potential. Or we may be moving too slow. We may be very tamasic, we call it in Guna Yoga. Earth element. We may be restraining ourselves and not being able to move as well. So it could work both ways, because we do live in a world of polarities. Yes, there is life and death, sun and moon, good and bad. Okay? And that's why we call in sacred space, especially if you work with me in the studio or online with sessions, we call in sacred space. So we're a non-dualistic tantra space right now. So there is no right or wrong, good or bad, black or white, even yin and yang right now. We may talk about it, but the actual space that we're in is a non-dualistic tantra. So there we go. We got the 7. Oh, major arcana today, isn't it? Whoa. So when we look at major and minor arcana in the tarot decks, the major arcana usually brings us messages of great importance. It's like the chapter, okay? And the minor arcana are the tools, are the helpers who help us figure it out. Okay, so we have, let's see. Ooh, the Chariot. Oh my gosh. This is getting so real so fast. Okay, so soften the jaw, feel the tongue. Ooh, just a little bit of opening there. Open mouth and gentle sigh on the next breath out. So the chariot, I love this. You just can't, you can't run away from this, right? It's like right up in your face, especially the Murder of Crows Tarot. So the chalices, purpose in the space. The Anjian cross, look at all the 4 directions, okay, before you start and decide whether you need action or non-action. And now we have the chariot. The chariot is the carrier. In this new world of doubt and fear, you cannot remain small and hidden forever. Hells no! Take up space already. Right? It's everything that we see in the world is only a reflection of what we see within ourselves. So step into that power within. Power over is limited and dangerous. Guess what? You want to know something else? Power under is limited and dangerous. So we step into the power within. Power within is infinite. Okay? The time has come to choose to rise above and be more than you have been. That last card also told us to rise above the mundane. So my question to you is, what are you getting stuck in? What is holding you back from feeling aligned, from noticing that, yeah, life may have its bumps. Abso-freaking-lutely. Life doesn't have to be fair. I'm just telling you, it's like it's not fair. Hells no. Life is not here to be fair. Life is here to teach us to find that equanimity between the right and wrong. When we start getting stuck, when we start to fill up every space in our world, physically, emotionally, energetically, mentally, and spiritually, okay, we need space. We need space. We need space to breathe. If we don't have space to breathe, we feel restricted. If we're trying to ground and we don't have space, if we're hoarding emotions or objects or whatever it is, we're not going to have space to have that free flow. So what is congesting right now? What is unnecessary? What is necessary? Look at those two. Play with it. Doesn't have to be the end all do all, but we can start to gather a little bit more data so we can see the content and where we are in all of the directions. Okay? Step into the cart and you can fly faster and farther. All you need to do is hang on for dear life. Yeah, but I also say we don't want to be holding on too tightly. Bring the chaotic strands together and weave them into the harness that will fuel your travels. So when we talk about the gunas, I'm going to be offering Guna Yoga 200-hour teacher training coming up in May, online and in studio. And I'll have more information on that on Monday on sheachievestudio.com. But when we talk about the gunas are the 3 universal attributes of the entire universe. We can trace everything in this entire universe, whether it's the cards, tattoos, a crystal, the clothing, the sky, an emotion, a word, a memory, anything goes back to the gunas: air, fire, earth. Sattva guna, harmony; Rajas guna, fire; and Tamas guna, earth. And these gunas can either be excess or empty or equal. But when we can simplify and filter confusion, attachments, shame, grief, guilt, trauma, God, whatever it is, dis-ease, ADHD, anxiety, depression, whatever it is, we can trace it all back to the gunas. And it gives us a very tangible and bite-sized amount of content to be able to understand that, to see the whole in where we are, so we can move through it with action or non-action. Pick up what I'm laying down? All right, so we want to harness power. Put on the mask you wish to present to the world, okay? And we can change these masks. I say, personally, yeah, you can put on that mask. I say, get rid of the freaking masks. I mean, we might need those masks at a point in time, depending on who we're with or where we are. But see the truth without a mask. Just see it. It's your choice. You get to step in or step out, right? All of this is not a replacement or diagnosis for anything. We're revealing universal guidance to help us understand what are we supposed to do in this space. And is it our default to fill it up right away, or is our default to not do anything with it? Where is that middle ground in between? So the key words: victory, movement and travel, vehicles, power over others. We talked about that. Power over is dangerous and limited. So see where you feel you have to have power over something, a person, place, thing, or experience, and you can be curious with that. Is it really, really necessary that I have power over this person, place, thing, or experience? Am I trying to fill the space? So remember, a little review here, and then we'll pick two more well, I'm not picking, the universe is picking, but we'll ask the universe for guidance for two more cards. So a little recap. The chalices, temperance. We are being tempered because we've closed some doors. And now we have space because we've closed some experiences with people, places, things. So what are we doing with this? Well, we have purpose, we want intent, and we want to have equanimity. We want the free flow so we can see the whole, not just from our attachments or ego or our wounds or suffering. Then we have the Anjian cross, which reminds us from the shamans that we must look in all four directions, and all four directions must be present for us to be in the eye of the needle to rise us out of that mundane attachment, ego, expectation, fear, or ignorance. Okay? And then it leads us into the chariot, and the chariot is the vehicle. So what are we rushing to the next door to open up the next door, or are we finding what is this, that flow? Are we letting that energy flow from cup to cup? Okay, I really like this. How is this sitting with everyone? Feel free to comment. So now we're asking the universe, what animal can represent itself to us? Oh my gosh. I love this. What animal is going to be propelling and moving the chariot? Because we're in the chariot. But we also want to remember about that power over. I feel that we can get pretty rammy, not good or bad. We're in sacred space, but we're just noticing how fast we can go now that we have these wheels of the chariot. So what animal can represent itself for us to be in a more steady and sustainable cadence? Woo! Are you ready? The wolf. The wolf. Oh my gosh. And when we think of the wolf travels in packs. Wolf are hunters. Wolf can befriend the bear. Wolf and bear can team up. So it's also asking us if we're living with some type of power over or power under, what the wolf can be an ally for us to find the tribe, the cohorts, our pack. Well, what is sustaining our pack? Ooh, our pack mentality. Whoa, anyone? How's this landing? Personally, yes. If that cuts out, that's all right. It's just the way it is today. The teacher. So the wolf is the pathfinder, the forerunner of new ideas who returns to the clan to teach and share medicine. So while you're waiting in this space, what do you call it when you soak meat in sauce? What is that? Not me. Oh, I got it. Marinating. We're marinating in this space right now. We're seeing how we are able to keep our solidity and still have flow in that space so we can move from temperance with purpose, connecting all the dots together to move into the chariot to propel us forward with the wolf. Your intuitive side may also have an answer or teaching for your personal use at this time as you feel wolf coming alive within you. So that raw primal, what carcass needs to be eliminated, right? We talked about elimination physically, going pee, poo, blowing your nose, any kind of elimination, emotional elimination, energetic, mental, spiritual. So we have to eliminate something somewhere to create more space. It just doesn't make sense. A packed elevator is a packed elevator. There's no more room. There's no room to move. You're not able to see the perimeter around you or see the area that's around you. Okay, and then we can get confused, and that's when we might find that we start reliving the past as our present. So we want to learn from the past, not live in it. And we want to gather that wisdom from this present moment to move us into the potential of what we're moving towards without losing our grounding in the present moment. Because baby, that's all we got. We only got right now. So we can plan, yet are we attached? What are we attached to that's stopping us from using that primal instinct to rid of those carcasses, right? Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Is this jiving with anyone? So as you feel wolf coming alive within you, you may wish to share your knowledge by writing or lecturing on information that will help others understand the uniqueness. So we don't have to be greedy. Share some of it. There's enough to go around. There really is. But when we start to hoard it for ourselves, for whatever reason, we're not able to be in that relationship with others because we're like, mine, it's all mine. Okay? Okay. In the aloneness of a power place devoid of other humans, you may find the true you. Satnam, we talked about the truth earlier. So if you're watching this and you came in late, the replay will be on Instagram and on She Achieves Studio YouTube for you to listen to. And I might even bring in the audio onto She Achieves Studio Spotify channel as well. See, we got all directions covered. Wolf would not come to you unless you requested the appearance of the tribe's greatest teacher. So what is the lesson? What can we learn from sitting in that space, however uncomfortable it is, gathering the data from the shamans of the 4 directions, using self-control and purpose and fortitude, taking in all of the data, and then deciphering what is necessary and what is unnecessary to move us into the potential. Wow. I like it. Okay, we are going to finish. Last card, everyone. Ooh, the animal. I know, it's like the universe is like, the animals are coming. So let's go one more animal. So what can befriend the wolf? Because the wolf is that pack animal. It has its paws on the ground. So what animal can help? Yeah, right? So we were talking about the lower worlds and shamanic journeying. So the wolf may bring us into that lower world, but some of the cards were saying rise up above, find the Akashic, find the ether. Whew! Oh! Ready? Black Panther. All up in your face, yo. Mwah, 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 mwah. Guess what? Woo-hoo, little raven. We got the raven. Well, I brought the raven in because the raven's a great messenger and the wolf is the teacher. Let's see what the Black Panther is going to teach us, and then we are finished our card pull today. 52. Okay. Black Panther. So, Black Panther, Spirit of the Four Paws, reminding us of patience, precision of energy. A panther restrains to keep its resources and its energy tanks full. A panther doesn't waste time on unnecessary. I love this. Wow. And feel free to watch the replay and journal any information that really resonates with you if you're inclined to do so. Black Panther, embracing the unknown. So sometimes we fear the future, right? We're so uncertain. And I mean, life is always uncertain, right? Like the next breath is not guaranteed. We live in a world that likes to think so, right? For whatever reason, however we've gotten here. But when we go back to the universal guidance, nothing is permanent, right? Everything is impermanent. It's just this big cycle and spiral as well. So how do we embrace the unknown? By gathering the resources that we have in the present moment. By not getting rid of, by deciphering what is necessary, what's unnecessary, and what's in the middle of that. Okay, so another tribe animal, another animal of the tribe. If the Black Panther has appeared today, it may be telling you not to worry about the future. Right? Grow the glow inside of you so bright that whatever comes at you, you're able to hold your steadiness even if you're shaky a bit. We talked about this right at the beginning. Equanimity. Holding yourself as steady and yet tempered as you can while the sun sets and the sun rises, and in between it all. Trust that you are not supposed to mentally figure it out. Hence, masculine consciousness, Shiva, consciousness, linear, figuring it out. This is inviting us that feminine divine energy that rises up. We call it Kundalini, Shakti, and Kali. So trust that you're not supposed to figure it out. You may need to confront fears of the unknown, of being less than you truly are. Again, there's the truth. If we had to bring in one word for this whole card pull, I'd say it's truth. Let go of fears that appears obstacles or barriers. Obstacles and challenges are only there to teach us the lessons. Now, we may not be ready to understand those lessons, yet we can still be aware. Again, this can be the biggest rabbit hole. Just because we're aware doesn't mean we have to understand. And there is a teaching, guided energy meditation on She Achieves Studio, Spotify, that talks about exactly that. How awareness is very different than understanding. So the next step may be leaping empty-handed into the void. We've already talked about the void with implicit trust. In the stillness of the void, find the will to avoid foolish interruptions. What is unnecessary? Figure that out. Put it to the side. Transform it. Change the shape of it. Change the frequency, the vibration, whatever you need to do to be able to focus on what's necessary. We get so sidetracked of living in what's unnecessary. It blows my mind, and I love calling myself out and actually bringing this awareness into people who work with me, because we get shrouded and clouded, and we start to grope at all these unnecessary things, including people and places, okay, that we're attached to. Here you will discover, by going deeper and avoiding, or at least being in relationship of what's unnecessary, you're able to go deeper. And the Black Panther redefine the intent of your energy so you're not wasting it. And if you are wasting it, okay, be intentional of that. Like for the rest of the day, I'm sitting in the veranda and playing with cards, reading books, maybe just sitting and listening to the birds that come up, right? Just because we're not physically doing something doesn't mean we're not doing something. And sometimes doing nothing can be receiving everything. Because there's a difference between doing and receiving. Doing is masculine consciousness. Receiving is the feminine energy, the feminine divine. And we also want to be able to, okay, a little too fast. Slow down, please. Can you please slow down? That goes back to this. Look, masculine consciousness, feminine, divine, going back and forth, reminding us to look at the whole, see what is in the center of that whole. The chariot, the wolf, the panther, reminding us, be brave, be the hunter, but also know that the hunter doesn't go around running wild all over the place. It's precise, it has intention, it has fortitude, and it knows when to bring action in and when to bring non-action in. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go, my friends. We are out of here. We're going to close sacred space. Emulate a little bit of some Palo Santo to send you off on this chariot of the panther and the wolf. Oh, panther wolf. Oh, panther wolf. I love you, Panther Wolf, up in the Ravens. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you for showing up today. All right. Sitting up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Feel the tongue. Eyes open or eyes closed. On the next breath in, breathe into the navel, the heart, the third eye, and open mouth and gentle sigh out. And we thank the sacred spirits of the South. We thank the sacred spirits of the West. We thank the sacred spirits of the North. We thank the sacred spirits of the East. For Mother Earth and Father Sky, we are truly humbled and grateful for this teaching, for the sharing of energy. May we always be able to grow the glow inside, to share our radiance with the world and universe, yet always clear, protect, seal, and sustain that light within us first. We are truly humbled. The work here is now done. The work here is now done. The work here is now done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho. Shh. Thank you, everyone. Please comment on the replay, which will be available on @ChantalSass. Feel free to share this card pull along the way. You never know who may need to hear some of this information. And the background music was from my beautiful friend and musician that I share space with at Auburn with 2 R's. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love.